What is up, guys? Welcome back to King's Weekly number 10.
This is the winners final between Barrel Boys and Tempo Storm.
And Barrel Boys are up 1-0.
They are looking real solid that game.
Tempo Storm dropping 2 games so far today.
Step it up.
Scrubs.
Jeez.
Terrible.
Worst day of my life. I spilled coffee on my notepad.
I just shoved a
miserable.
bagel in my mouth.
Real professional here.
Yes. Casting from home. It's the way to live. The draft is actually underway here for game number 2. What map are we on? Well, that is Dargan, and I'm going to get that fixed.
Dargan.
This is why
these kids are super fast. They got the Stormcraft up for us like within seconds.
Yeah.
Already ready to go.
This is why we
Love
got to employ C.S. Steve so he can be like a maid for us and cook food.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would really even submit his resume for that job. That's a lot of work, man.
Probably not. I want a burger.
All right, so yeah, let's jump right into this.
Whoa. Heroes Hype went over Vortex. Heroes Hype. They are taking out Murlocs, taking out
them,
Vortex, advancing here in the losers bracket.
Good for them.
To the loser finals, and they will face whoever loses here in the winners finals. But that's top 3. I mean, they secured a spot in top 3. That's really impressive.
A lot of improvements for them. That's cool. It's good to see. I like to see these teams just rising up and sorting out their gameplay and moving on, man.
But
all right, we got a lot more stuff to talk about, though.
We do.
We got a game right here that we're going to be casting. And
yes,
Jake, you called it the respect ban on Zeratul. I said, no. That's
and
what
then they're sticking to what they know. They banned out Rhaegar, or it worked out last game, and they said, you know what? Let's do it again.
Yeah, it did. So I think that's a smart call. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't fixed, don't broke it.
I don't know who said that.
Certainly wasn't Trixler.
Definitely not. All right, let's look at the rest of this draft here. Okay, so of course we do see the first pickup on Tempo Storm was for that Nazebo. And then to counter that, we see the Uther Kerrigan pickup. So that's exactly what I was saying, right?
Yep.
Last game, if they go for the respect and then Zeratul, do they leave the doors open for Kerrigan? And yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. So they said we're going to switch things up. We'll hand off the Kerrigan to you. We'll see if this changes your game plan up enough to continue taking games off. So we'll have to see.
And we will find out very soon. But I mean, right now, the Rhaegar ban is looking pretty good because they have a composition that would allow for that bloodlust kind of aggression. Pretty standard stuff across the board. Again, Kerrigan going to McIntyre this game, not Glaurung. Switching hands.
Right.
And they have Stitches as well, so oh no.
There's that late Stitches pick again. I mean, they leave him off the board. Teams apparently are learning how to deal with him, and they don't feel so threatened by him to where they need to ban him out every single game or first pick him,
The last time I saw Stitches Kerrigan on the same team, it spelt disaster. I don't remember the series, but they just annihilated Hook, Primal Grasp. It was just like too much power over the battlefield. It felt, and you know what? I'm feeling it for them. Now, of course, damage output very high on Tempo Storm's side.
Of course, yep. And I mean they're very comfortable with all of the warriors, so it's very possible to see them grab ETC here. Arthas is always on the board for them. They have very strong. There's the ETC pick, and who are they going to follow this up with? I would guess Brightwing. Seems to be the standard pick, but again, they went Malf last game as their soul healer they had a Brightwing.
I don't think they're going to make that mistake again. I really think they're going to go with Brightwing. Honestly, Brightwing's mobility in general, I think they'll end up going in Emerald Wind style, not Blake Heal. And, we'll find out.
They also have Tassadar, too. That's the other thing. So you have that extra healing word, a little bit of burst with that shield.
Okay,
yeah,
there it is. Good. Now, Malf, I get it. I get the idea, this mega lockdown style, but it didn't pay off because of how patiently Barrel Boys played. They only initiated once they had those perfect VPs, and they knew the risk of the roots in that crazy lockdown, and there's Kubi's gal.
That's my gal right there.
His waifu.
So, it's funny because going back to the previous draft, we were sort of theory crafting, like, who's got the better draft here? And I looked at Barrel Boys' comp, and I was like, oh, I see why. Well, I should back that up a little bit and say I looked at Tempo Storm, like, why they grabbed Malf. I was like, oh, they don't really need any burst healing because there's no burst on Barrel Boys' side of things. I could not have been more wrong. Honestly, I was like, even if they isolate people in Void Prison, they're not going to be able to kill them fast enough. Wow. Never been more wrong about something like that. It was insane. So, yeah, we see. I mean, I'm just trying to theory craft about who's got the better draft tool. I don't even know anymore. They've just completely rocked my perception of what's good and bad anymore. So kudos to them for that. So
There's actually a comment in chat, and I know it's a few minutes behind, but it's something I'm going to answer here to make sure people understand. We're talking about this Rhaegar ban, and he's saying, why are they banning out Rhaegar?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, Rhaegar is incredibly flexible and has really risen to popularity recently again, ever since Healing Ward has been fixed. Now, Rhaegar is very hard to kill because of the instant cast of the Wolf form. Ancestral Healing can really just keep you alive for pretty much forever. I mean, if you're going a tank style, Ancestral Healing can really turn a team fight, but also when you're looking at a composition with both Tychus and Tassadar, you can go a Bloodlust style. So it opens up so many different styles that are very terrifying, and drafting against that kind of flexibility is very difficult.
Absolutely.
So by removing Rhaegar, they kind of limit that flexibility that is provided with that style of draft. And very frequently, when they opt for a second pick, that is loud, when they opt for a second pick, they will end up getting Tychus for their first picks, and then they'll grab Rhaegar and something else and fill it out.
Just imagine if Rhaegar had cleanse. Like,
oh, gosh.
he would be up there for sure. I mean, he's already pretty close.
I can dream.
I can dream.
They should make it so Healing Ward cleanses everything within it. Please, Blizzard, don't think like this. Let's introduce our flyers.
Yes, on the blue side for Barrel Boys, we have McIntyre on Kerrigan. Blink's going to be playing Uther, Fan on Vala, Trummel's going to be playing Sergeant Hammer, and Fury on Stitches.
These teams, like, just killing me, not telling me they're switching sides.
Oh, rip. All right, you know what? While you're doing that, I will introduce Tempo Storm on the red side. We do have Dreadnought on Brightwing. Glaurung's going to be playing Tassadar. We have seen him play Tassadar a little bit in the past, not so much, though. KO's going to be on Nazebo. Soldier will be rocking the ETC, and Arthlon on Tychus.
Now, of course, Arthlon just doing his thing, being a beautiful money pig. Yep.
That's what you got to do, man. Love it. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about some of these talents that are picked up here. Nothing that's particularly jumping out at me here. Of course, we do have Sergeant Hammer doing the very typical auto attack style build. We're probably going to see that extra range at level 4. Stitches probably going for the, the main, I guess, warrior style build. Not really the damage slam that we used to see back in the day. So this is going to be chew your food, amplified healing at level 4, tenderizer, etc. Just like all utility type stuff rather than pure damage output on that slam. Dreadnought and Brightwing is going for the bribe. Very strong in this map. There's a lot of camps to bribe that can apply a lot of pressure, especially in that bottom lane there. A little bit of aggression in this mid lane here.
Yeah, McIntyre, of course, going to be a constant threat. We've seen the Tassadar almost get picked up, but of course Tassadar having plenty of utility to get out of those scenarios. Glau playing Tass is not a common sight, but this team is very flexible. Nice juke there by Dreadnought. Make sure he doesn't get hit by that Primal Grass, because that probably would have spelt his death, and they turn on to a lot of damage going into McIntyre in reverse.
Yeah, and those shrines are up. It looks as though Stitches is going to be able to get control of that top lane. Is that going to be control of the Dragon for Barrel Boys? Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, they flip sides. It's always confusing switching
every time.
From a casting perspective and stuff. But yeah, no, 1-1 right now in this bottom lane. Looks like the Barrel Boys will actually be taking both. But in return, Glaurung will be trading up, grabbing this top tower.
Yeah.
And
especially with Nazebo showing up there, that's kind of a risky spot for Tremmel to be in.
And who needs musical chairs when you could have magical shrines?
Magical shrines. Magical chairs, something, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Healing Ward picked up here by Tassadar, Predictive Shield on Brightwing. We do see the Echo Petal, the Melting Point.
And that's going to be Gathering Power. Almost always. Yeah, and we do see that full Amplified Healing style for Stitches. Again, that range, pretty much a full multi-shot build for Fan on Vala here. It's just going to be a ton of like AoE, DPS in the middle of this fight. So always seems to work out pretty well because, well, I'm pretty sure Vala's still sitting at that 100% pick ban rate, and she's been doing work for some time now, and I don't see why people would need to switch off of that style build. Sometimes we do see those auto attacks style builds. Occasionally, if there's like a supreme amount of lockdown that they can almost guarantee, sure, that's something to go for. Or when Trumbull in a little bit of a scary position here, being sieged for a little bit too long, ends up getting out with those thrusters.
That race car driver status, he just boosts on out, initial D drifting around the corner, getting out of harm's way. He's going to be just fine, and you see that Tempo Storm will be grabbing this bottom shrine in return, but Trumbull getting back into position for it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the strength of Sergeant Hammer on this map. Yeah, Soldier taking a little bit extra damage there. It's going to probably force control for Barrel Boys on that bottom shrine. And with Brightwing up top, it's going to be pretty difficult for... No, actually, he's getting...
Oh, okay. Trouble had a bit of a hiccup in his internet, it looks like. Yeah. And in return, it looks like he might lose his life.
That's really... I think that might have had something to do with the fact that he disconnected it. That's really unfortunate. Hate to see that kind of thing happen.
Yep.
All right, so now that means Tempo Storm is going to have control
Oh, Dreadnought is going to fall here. He dodges the Primal Grasp combo. Does he manage to escape from here? He's got Protective Shield potentially for himself. He just picked up Cleanse.
2 seconds.
And Cleanse will be enough. Okay, okay, wow.
If he hadn't shown up, yeah, the Primal Grasp cooldown was back up, so could have done it. They almost got that dragon because of that disconnect, or just we didn't catch exactly what happened to the Trumbull there.
Right, we can assume that it had something to do with that. I mean, it looked like he was severely out of position there. And Vala ends up getting picked off here, so we missed that happening right now. Arthvon picked up the kill on Vala with the help of KO, and looks like they're in position to grab this Dragonite. Dread is going to take control of this shrine. He's going to hold it. And they are going to lose the Bomber Shrine in.
Yep, playing the musical chairs again. Magical chairs.
Magical shrines.
Magical shrines.
Just going to keep changing the name on it.
I know, right? Just completely messed me up. All right, we do have level 7. Let's jump into some of these talents that are picked up. Battle momentum on Kerrigan. Sometimes we see Kerrigans opt to go for the Zerglings just to have a little bit of extra annoyance in the middle of the team fights. And Soldier's kind of in a tricky position here. Really nice.
Okay, he barely gets out of there, and we have Dreadnought on his way down to give some heals. If he hangs out next to Dread, he'll actually be just fine. He'll up rather quickly. Tempo well as well.
Shouldn't be a dragon for, because we have Arthlon sitting there mid. He's going to stop that. Put a little bit of pressure on, but Blinks is coming up to try to apply a little bit of pressure. He's going to die.
Arth is dead. There's no getting out of that. Dragonite should be stopped, yes. So we sacrificed his life for the Dragonite. His gun was getting kicked around. I was amused. Glau should be just
easily
fine.
Distracted.
And he's just going to go into Dimensional Shift.
Nice dodge.
Nicely juked, but... Yeah.
Wow. Barrel Boys, they're making some really nice rotations here to get map control. And while they still haven't capped the dragon, they're catching up in experience just because more or less Temple Storm has been doing a better job soaking. But they're going to be at level 10 about the same time, so no strong advantage to one team or the other in that situation.
Yeah.
But these rotations that we've seen over the past minute and a half or so, they've been pretty on point.
We should see, we do see Blink Kill. I was expecting Emerald Wind, honestly. But that is going to be a Dragonite picked up by McIntyre on Kerrigan, and this is the first Dragonite of the game. Almost 6 minutes into this game. Top lane, some aggression going to the dance onto Fury. That will pick up 1 kill. Oh my goodness, does he live?
Really? He already used the grenade, yeah.
He danced and everything. That's actually terrible.
That's the power of chew your food and amplified healing right there. Both of those things synergize well together just to give you that extra burst surprise heal that you wouldn't expect a tank to have like that. So Ultra was picked up, Putrid Bile was picked up. Yeah, we have tons to talk about with these heroics.
I like that combo actually. Now that I think about it, Putrid Bile and Ultralisk.
How do you run away from this giant
you don't. You just you're stepping in goo and it's chewing on you.
Stepping in goo and it's chewing on you. Just J quotes. Just J quotes. All right. So yeah, and that's pretty good between all of the healers, I guess, other than Rhaegar, who was, of course, banned out. Uther's probably your next best bet to get that burst heal, so Stitches should have no problem staying alive, for at least for a fair amount of time, to get that Putrid Bile down, just to give extra control for Vala and Sergeant Hammer to just unload those auto attacks and get that range damage in there.
I'm so proud of myself from that rhyme.
You've just been sitting here. I was ranting on about talents that we're taking. You've just been sitting there with this huge smile on your face like, yeah, I did that.
Well, we can see a lot of aggression here coming out in the top lane out of Barrel Boys. They are a little bit ahead in terms of structure advantage because of that first Dragonite. Bruise is picked up by Temple Storm, and they're going to be pushing them on back here. All the heroics are available except for the Mosh Pit, which has an incredibly long cooldown. What is the cooldown of that thing? 10 days? 100 seconds.
100 seconds, yeah. That's
mana.
No, it's 120.
120 seconds. Ooh.
Oh, I thought it was pretty long.
That's 10 days.
That is 10 days in Heroes time, right?
Yeah.
So we do see some pressure coming out of Temple Storm here. This is their first real attempt to take some map control here. More often than not, especially since those rotations started coming around, they've been forced back quite a bit, and it's good to see that they're nice dodge there from Glau, but he does get hooked.
What did we talk about the power of those two? But that is, of course, a Tassadar, the Revenant Spirit, going to town right now, doing a lot of work. Glaurung there in the front. We hear the dance. It's picking Blinks off, keeping Blinks from being able to heal. McIntyre is going to fall in return. Fan is very low, but does Blinks be able to, he's not going to be able to get out of this scenario. 1, 2, Fan is very low as well. That is a 2-4-0, and they have Giants still. They still have these Giants pushing in the bottom, and it looks like they're going to potentially go for an aggressive steal on these Bruisers here.
Oh, Trundle's going to be caught in a little bit, and should be able to get out, especially with the safety of that fort there. That fight was a mess. It was just a mess. They put so much focus onto Tassadar right there, but of course he has a lot of potential to get out, especially with that dimensional shift. And the Future Bile, everything was in pretty good shape. It just seemed like the focus really wasn't there. Everyone was like split up in all the situations, and Kerrigan got isolated pretty early. Wasn't able to hit multiple people with the combo. So a lot of damage was put out there from Barrel Boys, but they weren't able to really secure any kills. So now we see that Tempo Storm has picked up the aggression here, and Fan is gonna die. The burst damage on that grenade was like just enough.
I really didn't expect that kill to happen.
I didn't either.
And
I did not either.
That's big. That's like that actually means a lot because they can just push this bottom fort down. Now we do see that Barrel Boys is opting to put on the counter aggression because they do know this is a very likely thing to happen. Bottom Bruiser Camp will be picked up here by Tempo Storm. They're going to get this bottom shrine. This fort's going to fall as well, and then they're going to have these bottom bruisers. This Chillwind Yeti, as Steve and I like to call the singular giant, and 2 more giants.
What is 3 giants then?
Mechanical Yeti. I don't
know. The
Lost
Vikings.
No. So for a full hearth coming out to defend these mercenary camps, that's going to allow them to rotate down to this bottom tower. And
that might actually be a dragon.
No, they're going to get there in time. They're going to take the bottom tower.
Oh, yeah.
So there will be no dragon picked up here, but it's still a nice rotation and a nice defensive play, but the experience going heavily in favor of Tempo Storm through these last few series of events.
Yeah, nicely played. It's good to see them jumping back into that game. That was some good pickups, especially on that top lane. And then after that team fight, things have been rolling pretty well for Tempo Storm here. They've split control over these. Nope, they are going to get full control of this dragon here.
Yeah, I mean, they still have Dredge sitting in the top lane on Brightwing, can face shift down at any moment when needed. There's the face shift just as soon as he sees the hook go on, making sure that they're safe for that. They take the bottom shrine, and the Dragonite is picked up in a very decisive manner. Arthlon had just been hiding and waiting to pick it up, and they're going to grab it. 1 Dragonite for each team so far in this game. 10 minutes in, this Dragonite is significantly more powerful than the last.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that they're going to get a little bit more done with it than Barrel Boys was able to, though. That hook was pretty nice. It sort of pulls the dragon out of position. Are they going to be able to blow it up fast enough? That's really what this comes down to.
Yeah, that poly.
That was so good.
That pretty much mitigates. The Dragonite's gone. It's worthless. I mean, that dash forward, they juked it. No punt went off. And the hook there onto KO. KO trying to sprint away. The cleanse was so clutch. Ravenous Spirit is doing so much damage. Arthlon barely staying alive. The blink heal is getting so much done that the Ultralist trying to pick up a kill, but 3 members, have fallen to none, and Tempo Storm is looking good.
Yeah, this is what we would have expected to see out of this in the first game. I mean, but these guys have really sort of switched their game up quite a bit. The dance, just barely caught the edge of Stitches there, and he was about to get a ton of work done with that Future Bile, but I think he caught at least 3 people in that mosh pit there. They were able to unload a ton of damage, especially when you consider Tassadar and Odin. If you can get the dance off without the interruption, that's going to win them a team fight 100% of the time.
Because they dashed forward, they were looking to kill KO on Nazeebo. They got the Primal Grass combo off, cleanse, mitigated the stun, so it stopped the stun, and then the dance, like you said. That was the name of the game.
Sure.
Dance, Ravenous Spirit, good night.
Good night. Good fight. Can I say that? I say it.
I like it. I'll allow it.
All right, so yeah, we see that Tempo Storm here is backing up, taking a lot of map control here. We see that blink forward. Did he try to save somebody? Oh, no. Okay.
We're looking at the Rewind, Criterize, picked up here with the full-on defensive style out of Tassadar.
Yeah.
Specialized Toxin, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, the only thing, actually the Imposing Presence is a little bit different. I think normally we see ETCs grab Stone Skin at this level, but I mean, they're just sort of expecting a lot of auto attacks, and sure, yeah, you might get that out of some combination of Uther, Sergeant Hammer, Stitches, so I like the pick, that's fine.
Party Bush here.
They need to be careful, they're not 16 yet.
Real careful, this is scary. Dreadnought's coming on in. The Rewind is still available for McIntyre, but they are backing out, picking up these Giants. All right, everything is okay.
There's another 15 seconds for Dance, but they did have that talent advantage and just about 2 levels over Barrel Boys at that point, so I think it was a pretty safe
fishing hook. It is there.
The fishing hook is there. You're right. And we do have the knockback mines and the extra mines at level 16. So it's going to provide, there we go, quite a bit more control in the team fights.
They stall long enough. Arth barely gets it. It's totally worth that stall there. The punt there going out to McIntyre. And another Dragonite very quickly picked up by Tempo Storm.
I think we're really exploring quite a bit how ETC should be played, in the sense that I see a lot of positions where the dance, and ETCs have gotten so patient with the dance. It's almost a cleanup tool at this point. The hook.
Okay,
gets out.
Yeah, he has that knockback. Just gonna walk on away, getting those shielding. A nice punt going in. Bullhead Mines being soaked up by the Dragonite right now. They want to take out this keep, but a lot of heroics are available for both teams here. Pretty much everything on the table. Dragonite is the only thing that we see the Ultralisk coming out. The dance hitting multiple members. McIntyre gets blown up very quickly. The Ravenous Spirit having free reign. Curse Fury gets polyed, and that Criterize adding the additional damage is going to blow him up. The Putrid Bile is there, but it's not going to be enough to stall this aggression. 2 members down, and Tempo Storm has every right to just back on up and go towards this top keep as well if they'd like to.
From like the 6 or 7 minute mark, Tempo Storm has completely shut down Barrel Boys. They haven't. When was the last time they got a kill? We talked about those quick rotations early game. It was before level 10.
Yeah.
Like they are absolutely. They have adjusted and they are just cleaning up all of these team fights, getting the right dances. Everything like in terms of when they're popping their heroics is on point.
I mean, we can look at the damage done here. There's so much damage on the side, but they're mitigating it. They're sticking through it, and they're just getting the burst when they need it. Those polymorphs are and the dances. I mean, so much control over a battlefield.
Yeah, and we can see Tempo Storm once again. They're just backing up. They have a strong push advantage from in perspective of the lanes, and they're just going to go back up, take these Bruiser camps in the bottom lane here. And Tempo Storm's looking real strong. All right, so let's talk about what Barrel Boys either was doing last game, aside from their comps, to sort of take these team fights, and what's different now.
I mean, they just don't have that control over the battlefield like they had last time. It's almost like it's flipped. So last game we had that Void Prison that was working so well for Barrel Boys. This game, it's coming down to the big dances that are making big plays. The dance is beating out the Divine Storm or waiting out the Divine Storm more times than less. And Kerrigan's combos is being used to try to kill people rather than stop the dance. So it's really just so much of this is based around just that presence of Mosh Pit and whether or not they have the ability to stop it, because it's
we haven't seen any of the Rain of Vengeance stopping the ETC dances either, so perhaps that needs to be saved a little bit longer. And it's like was Ultralisk the right choice? Should he have gone for Maelstrom?
I feel like Ultra is doing a lot of work, but he's sending it at the Tassadar very frequently, and Tassadar can just disappear. And what does it do? It confuses it.
Yeah, it drops the targeting on it, so I think it has to be retargeted. I think it just automatically picks a target after it's been disabled.
Afterwards, it does, yeah.
But it might not be the one that you had intended, right? So it's a little bit more micro, of course.
Now, Glau, of course, very far forward, but again, he is Tassadar. Bullhead Mines pushing him into a weird position. He's forced to pop Archon. He's going to be moving forward to where his team is, potentially looking for a dance. Trouble gets blown up so quickly between the Ravenous and the Archon. That Odin in the backline doing a lot of work as well. Dance picking up both McIntyre and Blinks. Rain of Vengeance is available. Not surprised why it was. Don't really know why it wasn't used there. Maybe saving it for a better opportunity. McIntyre going to get blown up. Blinks going to lose his life as well. Divine Storm not going to be quite enough. There's the Rain finally being used. Blinks going down, Glaurung going into Dimensional Shift, and I think this is game.
I gotta criticize saving Rain there.
Yeah, me too.
I think he was looking at a situation like, I think these guys are okay. I don't need to use my heroic here, but they were not okay. They lost one person, and then the Rain that was thrown down afterwards didn't even really end up comboing. And who do you have with you? You had Uther, and it's like, okay, do we have even the damage to follow up on this?
Yeah.
Not really. So I think that cost them for sure. Not necessarily that's why they lost the game, but
it definitely.
I think it would have been the right call to throw down the Rain on that dance to interrupt it. And I think this is definitely going to be a 1-1 here between Barrel Boys and Tempo Storm. So nicely done for the adaptation on Tempo Storm's side of things. They, beginning of the game, looked pretty similar to what we had seen previously, but they adapted quickly and they straightened out their gameplay, and it showed. They shut them down completely for the rest of the game. From like the 6-minute mark onward, they got no kills.
I mean, it looked so strong by Barrel Boys at the start of the game, and I thought for sure that was going to be a 2-0 for them. I was like, wow, this is amazing. They're taking out Tempo Storm 2-0, but Tempo Storm adapted.
I mean, hey, it's not over.
It's not over. It's not over.
Absolutely not over. So we do still have that game number 3 between these two like powerhouses of teams right here. It seems like, So I'm real excited to see what map we're going to. Like, what are the drafts going to look like? It's just cool to see. Fun stuff.
Well, we're going to get that ready as fast as we can, guys. We're ready to jump for Game 3. So, we're going to throw to a 5-minute break, get everything ready to roll. Stick with us. Go get some snacks. Get all that good stuff. Cheers to you. Kubi showing off his coffee life. And we'll be back in a bit.